Hello, welcome to Maria's Ideas Art and the cable TV show that we film here in Pittsburgh. Maria's Ideas teaches us to paint. If you are new to my channel, thank you and welcome. We're happy to have you here. We are a volunteer group here in Pittsburgh that film these shows, and hopefully they inspire everyone to get creative and get rid of that fear about painting, right? Everyone can learn. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do, how to draw. This is a short tutorial for this episode 40, Tea Time Visitors. This is the painting that we created. We do these very quickly in about 35 minutes. So we paint, I use different techniques and ways that we can achieve it in that short amount of time. You can certainly spend more time on your pieces and add more detail, but we do these quickly as we paint with our guests. And I do produce the show with my friend and co-host Alan Levine. And we like to bring in different people into the studio and just talk about what they do. It's always a positive show. We like to inspire other people in many ways and say thank you to the ones that are doing good. So anyway, so here we go. Now we paint on canvas panel. Okay, so we do that just because it's just for filming purposes. It doesn't have as much bounce as a canvas. Sometimes we paint on canvas. Most of the time I do this. If you do paint on these and you want to hang them up and you don't want to worry about a frame, you can just put a little office binder clip on the top and hang it that way too. So I'm just going to show you here how to create your design if you have trouble drawing this yourself. And what we do for the show is I create the design on my computer. All of my work I do is by hand. The design work I'll do on the computer just to save time and to get something together for our show, because we do one each month, and then I have all of my clients' work that I'm always working on. So what I did, I created it in the computer, and then I just took the color out, and these little white spaces are just to eliminate some of the gray areas that would use up all of my ink, right? That ink is so expensive. So this is 11 by 14. I printed it out the same size as our panels. If you have the ability to do that, that's fine. This is graphite paper. It comes in a white and a graphite. You put the dark side down, you lay it under your design, and you trace over with just a hard pencil, a line, or any little sharp tool, and it will transfer that. You can also rub a pencil on the back of your design where the lines are and transfer, or chalk. You could do it that way too. So, but that's if it's actual size. If you do not have the actual size and you are concerned with learning how to draw this, and I do have a short tutorial for each episode. So this is episode 40, Tea Time Visitors. So what I'm going to do is show you, I printed this out. This is roughly 5 by 7. So when you are transferring something, making it smaller or larger, using this grid method, the one key element that is very important is the proportion. This is a rectangle. This is a rectangle. This is actually a little bit wider than this. If this was a square, then I would have to keep the artwork within that square proportion and then make up the difference with color or something else. So the proportion is key. You can take, I could take this and transfer this onto the on a wall, a large mural, which I do many of those. Each rectangle could be equal to a foot or two on a wall. This could be 5 feet by 7 feet on a wall. So this is also, like I said, what I'm showing you here. You can create as many rectangles or squares as you choose. I just keep it simple for this reason, and I will show you what I did here. Sometimes I add a couple more. So this is just a piece of paper over 11 by 14 canvas panel, just to save the canvas, because I do like to repurpose things. So what I'm going to do is, you can draw on your cardboard or wood or canvas, whatever you're using. I'm using color pencil, and I'm doing this a little bit heavier so that it will show up for you to see. If you want to use a regular graphite pencil, just keep it very, very light so that that does not show through in your paints. Some of paints are a little more transparent. We do use acrylics. Most of them are pretty well good coverage, but Some are not. If you use the watercolor pencils, it will react with the water and just melt right back into your colors. You could use chalk, you could use whatever you choose, but like I said, I would keep it very light. So what I'm going to do is create the same equal parts on this canvas board. So you can get a tape measure and you can measure the exact center. I don't. I usually just do a little eyeball here, one at the top, one at the bottom, and then that makes it easy as you're drawing a line. You look ahead where you're going, and that will help you see the the direction that you're heading with that other end. So then I'm going to do so vertically and horizontally. They don't have to be perfect. This is just to help you get the composition together. And then these each half, divide in half again. Bring this down. So again, I'm doing these darker just so you can see, and then horizontally again. So this is pretty close to what I have here. So I did that in green. Now I'm going to use a different color for, let's see, I'll use this darker. All right, so I'm going to start with the focal point, which is the cup. So you want to make sure your focal point gets in place with your composition. The rest of it, sometimes you can adjust things, but that is key. So we're going to start with the shape. So remember your shapes and geometry. This is what it all comes down to, right? You have to remember all of these different shapes here and how to get this to work. So I'm going to try to simplify this. You can certainly do it a couple different ways, but let's see how this works out for you. So if I'm looking here at the top left side of the cup, it's about halfway. If imagine that butterfly is not there, it's about halfway up between this second row and this where this intersects right here. So that's that edge of the cup there. And the other side is, so if I draw a line, this, you can see it's definitely less than half. So I'd say, and it's not quite a third. So I'm just going to go, that's about half. So I'll go somewhere in here. And it's about, well, it's the same distance over from there. So that gives us that 2 points of where our opening is in our cup. The back section, if I draw a line, sometimes it's just easier to draw the line across to a blank area. And you can see that's about half, and that's just slightly above this mark. So we will just put a mark here just to indicate where that top section is. The lower section, if I draw a line, that is about 1/4 of the height of here. So if that's half, and that's 1/4. So that's, yeah, so that's right around here. So now what you want to do is just bring this, you have this elliptical shape, okay? And again, you can create more details and fix everything as you paint. You just want to get something down on your board. So again, this just to lay everything out for the composition. So that's the inside of the cup. All right. Now the sides, we will mark. Let's find our bottom area here, and then we will connect the sides. So the bottom base of the cup is, if we come this way, if that's half, that's a little less than 1/4. So on this third row down, and it's about, let's see, it's half. So this is halfway. It's not quite 1/4, but somewhere in there. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just give you an idea of where to place it. All right, so that's there. And then this is my line here for this row, and this bottom section is below that line. So now I know that's here. So you want to keep in mind when you're drawing something like this, the viewpoint. So if we're seeing into the cup, we're looking down from a particular viewpoint here. So this has to mimic the same curves and shape. All right. If this was this way, like you were looking from above, this would not make sense to our brains. All right. So we can come up here. I do not have a bird in my studio. That is my phone. Text messages, I guess. All right, so that's the same. You can see it's the same shape. So this is our ending point. So now we can bring this out just a little bit of a flare, and then just do a nice little curved shape. Your cup can be more curved or less curved. You can make it straight, whatever you want to do. The other thing that I do encourage all of my painters in my classes, I do teach classes for the National Aviary, and I've done things for the sports teams, and I do paint parties and other places around the town, is I encourage everyone to just keep it your own. Don't worry about making it look just like mine. We are all individual, and we all have different artistic styles. So, and that's what's fun about it, right? Okay, so you know what? I'm going to do the plate. I'm going to do the saucer underneath. That was just the top of the handle. All right, so now we have this section, this little saucer. So let's figure that's like one, that's about it. It's about a quarter of the way between the height of this. So that's this section here. The plate, the saucer comes over to a little more than half way of the width of this rectangle. And then on this one, so I'm looking at the white lip. I'm not doing this underside yet. You can see that's here, and then it's down below. Again, it's going to mimic that same shape. And then this will be across from this section here. This side is a little bit beyond this line in this row. And that it's kind of like you create your little marks, and then it's like connecting the dots. So it does take the pressure off a bit and just help. Like I said, when you paint, you can fix it up. So that's where that saucer's going. Then the little lips, the gold, the white, the highlights and shadows we will add when we paint. Then we have this under section of the saucer. That's here. It's a little lumpy under there. This is just a piece of paper here. And then the shadow starts, you can see this intersection here. It starts over here, and then it comes down a bit, and then it comes over. It's not quite halfway. It's about here. And then this comes up here. So now that's my shadow. And then we have, that's the shadow of the spoon there. So this is all the shadow, okay? That helps you see what I'm doing here. All right, now let's get this handle. So this section here, little curve, it starts about here and just curves up. And then there's a little peak on that handle, little fancy. And then we can just do a nice little curve and bring it down. And this point, bring it down, kind of like the little curve, almost looks like a shape of an ear, right? And that comes down to about here where the plate is, and then it curves back up. You see that? And then we are going to come over here and just follow. This is about a half an inch on my panel here. It may be larger or smaller on yours. All right. So there we have, that's our handle. Okay. And let's see, the table. So this, we want to make sure that this line here and this line, they parallel each other. It's very important because of the perspective here. So this corner of this table is right up in here, and it comes this way. And I will use a straight edge for this. You don't have to, but this might help you if you do. Then it's coming up about, it's below this mark here. So it's going to come up here. So that kind of gives me an idea of my angle here. So that's, it might be slightly different than the design, and that's okay. Let me grab a different color. I'll grab red just so you can see. Okay, and then the corner comes out this way. Now, if you take your straight edge or pencil or anything and you just keep it at that same angle and then move it down, that will give you the same angle that will work with this. Okay, so this is in shadow here. That's our table. Okay, so we have our cup, we have our saucer. This is the lip here. That's the shadow part, and then this is the big shadow. Let's do our spoon. The spoon is just an oval. Okay, and then it comes up like this and bring it out here. Comes out about that far, and then we have the edge, and then the handle comes out like this. Again, we will add our details and shadows and all when we paint that. So there's our spoon, and that is this shadow here, right? Okay. Let's see, we have these elements in there. The butterflies, you can wait and paint this off first. I did have it already drawn, each butterfly. Just simply do like the letter C and a little line to indicate where the body is, and come up almost like a leaf shape, and then mimic that shape again. This is the back section of the butterfly. This will be there, and then he has his little legs, but again, those details get done when I paint that. The other butterfly is, the body's about somewhere in here. You can always make them a little bit larger, smaller. All right, so that's just to give you. So these colors that I chose are inspired by the hypocycloids that are on the Steeler logo. They are also the primary colors on the color wheel, and they just look good together, right? I wanted to do black and gold because of the city. The woman that's the guest on the show has a business in Pittsburgh where she does tours. It's Passport to Pittsburgh, and she likes blue, and she goes to a lot of tea houses in a lot of her tours. So I wanted to incorporate, how do I incorporate tea, black and gold, the city, the colors, butterflies, all this stuff. So this is what I came up with. So there you have it. All the rest of it gets done, all of the details, everything, as you paint. Okay, so there is the tutorial. So we hope you will watch, and that is for episode 40, Tea Time Visitors. This is the finished painting that we did, and thank you for joining us, and hope you'll be back, and follow and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. All right, we appreciate you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.